for doing the reading late, okay? And I actually have a good explanation for it this time. So I'm really, really sorry to begin with. It should not be. So I was dealing with a lot of just very, very weird psychic energy where everything was very foggy, and I couldn't read. When I pull out the spread, I just could not connect. And I had personal clients, like I had private readings and things like that. And some of the readings I had to use different ways to channel, like using numerology, using astrology too. So it was just the standard method that I normally do divination, which is through the tarot. It just failed to give me any answers. And so I wanted to do the reading after the for you, but one of the things that kind of came to me that provided a lot of clarity during the full moon. So we have here the moon overcome some of these blockages. And I feel like for many of you, everything was very confusing. Everything that you thought you knew and everything that you wanted to hang on to and everything that you thought was safe and secure. Everything that you thought was safe and secure and, that you work really hard for, I feel like they're kind of slipping away. It's like grasping at sand. It slips away through the cracks of your fingers. And what it brought up were issues when it comes to security, when it comes to what is really certain and what's really not. How am I keeping myself stuck? How am I succumbing to the status quo and not allowing myself opportunity to explore, to branch out, and to live up to my Sagittarius potential, right? So Sagittarius, you guys are all about expansion, opportunities, fun, and looking for opportunities to grow, to kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone, to challenge yourself, to see new sights, new sounds, and to live new experiences. And I feel for many of you, when this full moon came through, you might find yourself overseas. You might find yourselves possibly going back to your homeland, going back to visit family, or wherever you were with family. And even though you might be, in another country, in another place, the energy was very familiar and it just didn't feel adventurous anymore. And then for others of you who have, succumbed to the lifestyle where we're keeping up, where it's like, work and then home, work and then home. And you're just like, is this what I want out of life? Is this all there is? Am I truly happy, or am I just, a cog in the machine and the wheels keep turning? Life goes on without me. So I feel like many of you were in this dilemma where you're just like, where's the sense of adventure? Is this all there is to life? What's next? How can I break myself out of this rut? Am I really happy here? And I honestly feel some of you feel emotionally fulfilled where you're at. So like, work might be going really well. I don't see financial losses here. Family as well, they might be around, they might be supportive. So I feel like the security brings about emotional stability, but your soul is yearning for a little bit more. Your soul is yearning for more expansion, more opportunities, more out of life, more freedom. And, freedom and security doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. They can coexist. So it's just a matter of, trying to figure out how to blend the two in a harmonious way so that you're not making drastic decisions to kind of overturn your entire lifestyle just because you want this really deep-rooted sense of security, or just because you want this really deep-rooted sense of expansion. What I'm feeling when I was shuffling out this spread, and I'm going to go over the rest of the cards in just a little bit, but I want to get this out before I forget. I feel like many of you have received some news, and the news came far away. Okay, so like it could be from a relative who's really far from you, overseas, in another state, in another country. Geographically, there's a distance between you and this correspondence. or the writer or whoever you're corresponding with. And I feel like the information given is kind of vague. It's like one paragraph, and it's kind of vague. So you're just like, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what their intentions are. And so you're trying to read between the lines, okay? And my advice for you is you don't need to read between the lines. Time will reveal their intentions. And I feel like they don't want to reveal too much because they don't want you to say no. They don't want you to say, and Sagittarius, you guys are really, really good at drawing clear boundaries. If you don't like something, you're going to be very blunt about it. And you're just like, no, that's not my cup of tea, so I'm going to decline right now. And I feel like that's what they're afraid of. Like, they know you, so they're trying to be very vague. And, just to kind of like test the waters with you. And it is really annoying, right? Like when you're dealing with people like that. I don't feel they have any bad intentions. I don't feel like, they're purposely trying to be evasive. I feel like they're just trying to test the waters with you. And then I feel like for others of you, I see like an envelope. And whenever I see envelopes, I usually think of it as, some type of official communication, like from an attorney, like getting served papers. But I don't see any legal issue showing up in the spread. So I feel like it's official letters, okay? Like a job offer. Do you want to come and work with us? So I feel like some really big official, like envelopes, so big official, big decisions that are in that envelope. So big life choices or big decisions that you're going to have to make regarding work, regarding finances, regarding your career, and also inevitably, career and also your life path. So I feel like that's what's happening here. I'm seeing some of you are keeping, like, you might be going through some type of an interview, very quiet about it. And deep down, Sagittarius, I feel like many of you are very deeply superstitious. You will never admit it to people, but you're watching this. But I feel like you're deeply superstitious, and you feel like, oh, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to tell too many people. I don't want to, get my hopes up in case I don't get the job. But I feel like it's probably a good idea for you to go through the interview. Let yourself be divinely guided, okay? So that means listen to your intuition. Don't let other people, naysayers, and whatever. Like you're not telling people for a reason, right? Because you don't want them to talk you out of it. But you also, when we feel like something is right, we feel it. We feel it at our core. And someone can tell you, you're wrong, or it's not right for you, or don't do that. But they're not you, they're not in your shoes, and they're not living your experience. So what they say don't have any bearing. So what you should do is, not listen to anybody else and really rely on your intuition. What is your heart telling you? What is your intuition telling you? Rely on this. Because with Sagittarius people, you have this internal moral compass, and you have this internal compass, period. And you know what you need to do for yourself, okay? So I feel like you're hoping and praying for some type of divine guidance or divine answers. But the problem here is that you already know it. You already know what you need to do. And you're moving on from something that was potentially very confusing. You're moving forward. You're not looking back. And you're moving forward with a lot of support, with a lot of positive reception. And you're moving to this where it's very stable, it's very solid, it's something possibly brand new location. And it's promising to be very, very lucrative, okay? So financially, and I also feel emotionally. The only drawback I feel is some of you might be far away from family, the people that you're used to, the things that you know, the sense of familiarity. So once again, if the familiar is something that you feel like, it's too stifling, I want to break out of it, and then you break out of it, you're going to find yourself missing that familiar. So in life, we kind of have to always weigh out the options, right? And I know with you guys, it's always like the issue has always been, um, it's like stability versus freedom. And you feel like they're opposite ends of the spectrum, and they don't have to be. Stability, having a good job, making money, taking care of yourself, being proud of the fact that you're making money and you're taking care of yourself. So on the one hand, you're very stable and you're also very independent. You're able to take care of yourself. That to me is a good way for you to incorporate that energy, stability versus freedom. You're financially independent, so you are free. And then you're also, making enough money where you don't have to worry about day-to-day operations. You don't have to worry about, you don't have to be in that financial lack. So that is stability. And then trying to find situations where you can kind of find that stability within that freedom, or even having the financial stability so that you can have the freedom that you're looking for, being able to travel, taking vacation, taking time off when you're sick without having to, see a decrease in your paycheck. So we have to kind of rewire our brain to really think about what exactly that means, when we're talking about stability. What exactly does it mean? It doesn't need to hinder your freedom. It doesn't need to hinder your sense of expansion. Okay? So that's what I'm feeling here. Some of you, I feel like you're in a situation where you're thinking about, should I pursue higher education? You might have gotten some acceptance letters. And you're thinking like, should I start working? You might have a job offer, and you might also have schooling, so you might have like two offers for additional education or for work, and you're deciding between the two. And you might feel like education is stifling. It's like, I'm not going to be financially independent, but it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, so we kind of need to creatively it's like walk that fine line in between and not err too much on one side or the other, or even think of the fact that freedom and stability don't have to be opposite ends of the spectrum where having one excludes the other. So it doesn't need to work that way. Okay, so we're going to move on. I feel like envelopes, okay, official communication. I feel like some of you are superstitious, and you don't want to tell people about what you're doing. You don't want people to say bad things about your plans or talk you out of it, or give you reasons to doubt your decision, or even you don't want to jinx it. And then I also feel like you're dealing with people who have expectations of you, unrealistic expectations of you. And for example, you have people that tell you, family members, they're like, oh, you need to come live with me and take care of this. And in the meantime, you're trying to, finish school in another state or in another country. Or you're in another country, and then some people are just like, I need your help. And it's like, what do? Do you curb your plans, stall your plans, delay your plans for the other person? I feel as well, some of you are getting a communication that's really heartwarming. And there are two kinds. Somebody's telling you, somebody's revealing to you, I need you. Like, I can't live without you. I really, really need you. And I have here a water sign. So this is a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Okay? The energy of this person, though, I don't feel like it's necessarily a water sign. I feel like it's somebody that's finally softening up and revealing to you, I need you. And, it's really flattering when somebody tells us, I care about you, I need you, and I need you because I care about you, or I need you because I love you. And then there's the other hidden motives as well. I need you. I can't do it on my own. I'm not comfortable or competent or capable of doing it on my own. So I need you. So this is a space of entrapment. And I feel like it's two separate scenarios for many of you. Somebody's telling you, and they're kind of testing the waters with you. Like, I need you. I can't take care of myself. And I feel like it might be an earth sign that you're dealing with. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, possibly a family member. Okay, so like a spouse, a child, somebody that has not always been forthcoming and honest with you. That's what I'm feeling. It's like they're testing the waters with you. And I feel as if all of this information came up, recently, within, I would say, like the past 7 days, within that time frame, that full moon time frame in Sagittarius. And on the one hand, there were some messages where it's like, it's really refreshing because the other person is opening up to you emotionally. And they're like, I love you and I need you. And then there's this other one where it's like, I need you because I can't do it on my own. So those are really different messages, and make sure you know which ones you're getting, okay? You should not be flattered because of this. You should be flattered because of the first scenario. And this seems to me like there are a lot of strings attached. So if you're presented with this scenario, you need to really ask yourself, this is what's really going to hinder your freedom of movement and your freedom overall and your ability to move on to better and bigger things. Okay? So that's something you really need to kind of look at skeptically, because it's not flattering when somebody's like, it's not as attractive, right? Like, I can't do it on my own. I need you. So you need to stay here. You need to be responsible to me. You don't need to be responsible to anybody except yourself. And then the second instance, it's like something you've been hoping for and praying for, and possibly there might have been, excuse me, I can't speak English. There might have been a stoppage in communication between you and this water sign. So I keep saying Sagittarius. So there might have been stalled communication between you and this person. And then all of a sudden they're like, I really need you. I really love you. I can't live without you. And I feel like for many of you, there was stalled communication. You've already moved on. So I feel like this is a proclamation that came a little bit too belatedly. Like it's you were hoping and praying and wanting it for a really long time. You've already released the expectations that you had as a result. The full moon happened to reveal to you that you're no longer emotionally bound to it, and it's no longer having the same effect on you. You've already mourned the loss of that situation, that person, and now they're giving you that, I love you and I need you, and you're not communicating, you're not responding. You're already moving on, working on your career, focusing on bigger things, and not to belittle this person or the relationship, but it seems like more in alignment with your life path. This is fire energy. It deals with momentum, progress, being in the public limelight. It's like allowing your energy to kind of expand outwards in the public sphere, connecting with people in a more lighthearted way, because whatever is here, it's all very heavy, and it's like emotionally demanding. It's possibly emotionally manipulating, and it's possibly very exhausting. So whatever you were dealing with, the person, the people, the relationships, the work, whatever it was, it's just, look at it. It's very dark and gloomy, and it's like you did it because the sense of accomplishment that you got was that I'm able to take care of people. And you gave and gave and gave and gave, and you took care of people. And I feel like you got that sense of accomplishment from it, and it served its purpose. But the rest of it was just, you're leeching a lot of energies, and people were not really appreciative. And this is very emotionally heavy. And so you're trying to move on here, and you need to move on because this is already done and over with. The full moon reveals to us, and it's shining its light on this situation. This is toxic. This is not healthy. And emotionally, it's kept you very, very stuck. And the other person is like drawing, tugging at your heartstrings, wanting to make you stay. And you've got other things coming up for you on the horizon. So this is a new opportunity, new work possibly for many of you. And I feel new relationships as well, possibly with an earth sign. So possibly with an earth sign, possibly as well. I feel like with somebody brand new, okay? With the aces, they're always new ventures and new things. And you might have been in a, marriage type of a relationship where things were built up over the years, where there are kids and they're saying like in-laws, grandparents, people living under one roof. And it might have been, that was like the reason why you couldn't leave, because it's complicated, right? Things are always complicated. And so you're missing it, but you need to move on. So let me see what this brings for you. So what we have here, the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. So you got to push a little bit harder. And this is basically saying the opportunity is there. You need to meet all. You still need to kind of like push along that last leg of the journey. So for example, if I mentioned earlier, letters are coming in, so you need to respond, right? So it's kind of like that. The energy is there. What are you doing with it? And then at the same time, the same person might be reaching out to you. So you need to kind of turn your back. You can't like bring the past into the future when you're trying to pursue something else. Does that make sense? So don't let this kind of like get pulled into the future while you're trying to go after this new thing. You have to sever things. So there's still some preliminary legwork that you still need to do. There's still as well some loose ends that you need to tie up. So we have here the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is all about the fantasy versus the reality. The fantasy in the Seven of Cups is that everything's gonna, go swimmingly well, and that is the nature of the Sagittarius person. You see the best in situations, you hope for the best, and you kind of jump in and ask questions later. So they're really asking you, don't be starry-eyed, don't come in there with your blinders on. You need to look at things from a different perspective, and you also, another thing I want you to be careful about is, for example, if you're feeling very, very trapped and very stuck and the new opportunity presents itself and you're just like, it's new, I'm just going to go for it because it's new. You need to be very careful because in the process of trying to get out of your rut, you might be headed for something that might not be in your best interest. So sever things first before you move on to the new thing, okay? Otherwise, we have this situation here where we're still missing the past. So if you have a tendency to run away from situations when things get too rough, and new opportunities present itself and you're like, I'm going to go for it. I feel like lessons are repeating, okay? So let me just see what you need to know about your love life, okay? I feel like this is so heavy. It's so emotional. Can't even shuffle. So what is in store for Sagittarius for love? Yeah, you have some new energies in. So the past might be a water sign, Sagittarius. I keep saying Sagittarius. Sagittarius, it could be a Sagittarius even. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Okay, this is somebody that is very unhappy or dissatisfied, and they could potentially be a little bit depressed. I'm also seeing in this devil Capricorn. Capricorn, Pisces as well, a little bit of depression that they're dealing with. And this is somebody that, once again, it's like needing to consult somebody, needing to consult like a specialist, a mental health specialist, or even a psychiatrist, or seeing somebody to alleviate this somber mood, this depression, or something like health-wise with them. And if you yourself were dealing with some health issues, I feel like a partner might have been dealing with some health issues, you're dealing with some health issues, there's going to be a clearing up where the two of you can come back together. Okay, so that's only for those who are dealing with health issues. Otherwise, I feel like you're heading off into a brand new situation here. And I have communication that's coming through. And with the Strength card, it's sort of like, take the risk, reach out, meet it halfway. Don't take it for granted. And what we do have as well, possibly another fire sign. So Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, or at least somebody whose energy is very similar to you. They want the same things. They want expansion. And I feel for many of you, this is a situation where you're going to have to start manifesting. The person might not be in the picture just yet. And they're trying to, they're trying to come in. So you have to start manifesting. You have to sever the past so that you can begin again. So this is what's really keeping you stuck and preventing you from being able to expand outward and to manifest the right people to come into your life. It's because you're stuck here. And so you need to sever those ties in order to move forward, okay? I hope the reading has been helpful for you, Sagittarius. I feel like the full moon, it was not easy to deal with. The energy was really, really tense from my end, at least. And it was very, very intense. I mean, for the past 10 days, I just could not do tarot readings. It just didn't come in, so I had to use other ways to channel. So I don't know what you guys were dealing with, but I feel like it was very emotionally focused. Wasn't easy. So I hope that, you've come out with a lot more clarity as to what you need to do. And I also feel like with this communication stuff, there's new things on the horizon, new jobs, new opportunities, new travel opportunities for you. And go for it, okay? Take that chance, take the risk. And you kind of need to start living for yourself, Sagittarius. And, you can't be the caretaker anymore. You need to start living for yourself, okay? I wish you all the best. Take care, and I'll see you maybe in about 2 weeks' time. I'm not sure if I can do like a quick love reading if I have time, okay? So either way, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.